Hello, Tom Champa. How are you doing?
Hey, Charlie, doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. I was a little bit caught up here trying to get us live today for the first time on Instagram. Supposedly, we're live on Instagram. Anybody?
Just getting
Whoa.
stressed over technology like you usually do.
Hey, it's like the first time every time. How was your rugby weekend? Well,
Rugby weekend
listen.
was good.
Let me introduce ourselves. I'm Charlie Velasquez from Rugby in Florida. I've been doing this podcast for a while now, and I do some other stuff, as many of you know. This is my co-host Tom Champa, an average referee, as he likes to call himself. Also, very well known, mostly because of this.
Giving players what they deserve.
Yeah.
I haven't had a yellow card yet this season.
How many did you give this weekend?
Zero.
Zero.
No, that's not true. I gave one. It was a penalty try, though. I wouldn't have given it if it wasn't in the rules.
I know you went to that Sharks practice. Did you give any yellow cards over there? You should have.
No,
Huh?
I didn't even blow my whistle. They just wanted my presence.
No,
Apparently, those guys don't know what they're supposed to do.
That was some easy money.
Yeah, they didn't pay me. They gave me they got a steak sponsor, so they're sponsored by some meat house, and so they just have delicious cookouts after their trainings. It's fantastic.
Okay, well, so listen. First of all, let's try to get going because people don't want us talking nonsense. And first of all, I have to thank the sponsor. That we have a sponsor today, which is very important because we can't do this without sponsors. So I'm gonna really say thank you to the Florida Youth Rugby Union that is sponsoring this. And as a sponsor, one of the perks is to get on the podcast for a few minutes, and we're gonna bring in the chairman of the Florida Rugby Union, Alan Lawson. Hi, Alan. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I thought you were gonna be in live from your practice today, but
No. We are Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay. How you doing? Thank you very much.
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
Good, good.
You're gonna be nice to me today.
I'm always nice to everybody. What are you talking about?
Yep.
There might be some exceptions to that statement.
Give us a little glimpse of because we started the season. Are we on week 1, right?
Going on week 2.
Week 2 already?
Yeah.
I'm already lost.
Wait a minute. No, wait. No, yeah. So we just finished week 1. We're on week 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Oof. Yeah.
Okay.
U14s though, that's for the high school season. We're on week 2. U14s got one more uncontested scrums and preseason match play before they get into it.
Give me your assessment of what the season is looking like, maybe compared to last year.
What I'm really excited about right now is that we have done the Sarasota, Tampa area with Joe Hillbush and what Sarasota is doing, and Alan. I'm gonna mess up his name, but up there, Pelicans Rugby. I mean, we're really focusing on growing that area. It's been fantastic. I think that they've almost quadrupled in size, and it's been amazing. Sarasota is got about 60 kids. And then the Pelicans are coming through with about 20 to 30. So hopefully we double those numbers next year. Sarasota should have a full U19 side for high school next year to come into the mix. And then I think it's just going to keep growing from there.
Yeah, definitely that West Coast is moving, which it was a little bit lagging behind the East Coast. That's very good to see. I have to say that at the high school level, it's not really a good situation we're in. I mean, I have to be honest as an assessment. We have lost a couple of teams from previous seasons. And that's really tough. So we're down to 7 high schools. Not some of them with struggling a little bit, but
I mean, that's the problem sometimes when you're dealing with high school programs. We've really lost over the time. It's been kind of a high school program that's been school sponsored versus the club format. So if Fort Lauderdale we got the thing with Fort Lauderdale and with Sarasota coming through, and potentially Pelicans. We could add 3 more high schools back into the mix.
Yeah.
The big piece of it's going to be what's going to happen with Cardinal Gibbons and the Archdiocese on, not investing in high school rugby. That will be detrimental, and hopefully those kids will shift either to Okapi or to Key Biscayne or to the new Fort Lauderdale that Justin's running out there, and we should be able to get those back. So I'm not too worried about that. I think we should be a +1 next year from the current numbers today.
Yeah. Well, I hope they don't go to Okapi or Key Biscayne. Those clubs have enough players.
They do have enough players.
Yeah. Let's hope they go to Florida, to your club.
Boca. Yes, I totally agree. So, and I know that, we're really solid right now. The numbers are sitting really solid at U16s, U14s, and U12s. So the future looks really bright. It's that U19 level right now that's kind of struggling. And I get it to the fact that, some of these kids that were in, middle school through the whole COVID thing, it's just had a real detrimental impact. And, high school football's down. As you guys know, I coach football at Wellington High School. And it's just the numbers are down across the board. And some of the athletes that we used to have, they're just not there right now at the U19 level. And, I think it's really going to come down to, look, Key Biscayne, they gave us a beating this weekend. And I know, Mary, I'm going to get a text from Mariano the second I say this, but I think they're probably going to be the team to beat. They've beaten Okapi once. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that team. They're very talented and very disciplined. And I'm really curious to see what's going to go on with that team this year.
I hope Mariano's watching because I'm wearing one of the latest shirts he gifted me. Okay.
Well, that's Okapi's shirt, not Key Biscayne.
Oh, you just said the other didn't you mention Mariano?
I did mention Mariano, but you said I'm wearing Key Biscayne shirt. You're wearing Okapi shirt. Oh. Yes. Did he? That's what he said?
I'm losing it. Yes, I'm losing it.
That's
okay.
All right. We're all losing it.
Alan, any other thing you want to say?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and I'm glad that you're bringing the girls rugby on, which is why we're sponsoring it this today. And look, we cannot grow rugby in this state.
That is the only reason you're sponsoring this? So
no, it's one of the reasons.
Okay.
The main reason.
Okay.
Because I firmly believe that we cannot grow rugby in this state without growing the girls' side, because it is a family environment. If you get a sister, 90% of the time you get a girl, you're going to get the son or the daughter or the brother. And I firmly believe every single girl that we have in our program, they have a brother playing. So you can grow your number by 2 by recruiting at the girl level. And I say this all the time. Wellington grew through the development of growing at the girls' side, and we brought in boys on the back end. And I firmly believe we grow girls, invest in girls. The whole sport's going to benefit, and our numbers are going to double. I firmly believe that.
Yeah. Okay.
And we've got a full training shed full of gear if anybody wants to start a club back up in Jupiter. We got a field and a shed full of equipment. But
really?
Yes, actually, I'm supposed to go up there. I just talked to Dwight about that. I'm supposed to go up there and get some of those items out of there.
They got jerseys, balls, cones, uprights. They got everything.
Those are by the way, those are the union items. So
I see it every Sunday when we play touch.
Don't get me in trouble because I don't have any place to put them right now.
What club is that, Tom?
Jupiter.
Oh, Jupiter. Okay.
They have a full shed of stuff just sitting there. Yep.
Well, let's get a team started. Come on, anybody. We will pay you.
It takes a village.
I know. Yeah, it's really hard. Okay. Thank you again very much, Alan. I'll have you probably soon. I'm gonna do a lot of youth this season because it's more entertaining than the old guys. Screw them. And the best rugby to watch, in my opinion, is high school rugby. That's the best.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. I totally.
Not all the time, but most of the time. It's. I really enjoy it. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Alan.
You bet.
I'll see you soon.
You bet. Talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye. So I have to quickly give a shout out to my biggest fan here. Oh shit. Valentina. She's always watching. Thank you, Valentina. Love you back. She sent me a picture, but I just put it off the screen. Anyway, so let's go into today's one of the two topics. We're going to talk about high school girls rugby. And we have a bunch of people from Jacksonville and somebody from the Union. Let's bring them in one by one. Let me see. I'll bring in Mel first. How you doing, Mel?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming, and thank you for doing what you're doing. We'll talk about that in a minute. This young lady, Cora, I'm not going to pretend to be able to say her last name. So you can say it, Cora.
My last name is Hoy.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't have guessed it. Zero chance.
It's completely okay.
Thank you very much. And then Helen Archer, live from her backyard, apparently. How you doing, Helen?
How are you doing?
Thanks, welcome to the pod.
Helen is the lady in charge in the union for the girls. So this is everybody. Thank you for coming. Let's start with you, Mel. You're okay because you were having some issues earlier. You've come first circle. You have been playing rugby pretty much as long as this young lady has existed, right? So
a little bit longer, actually.
You have played. You have been a officer, a women's coach. You're not a referee yet.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Maybe one of these days.
And now
we'll break you eventually.
And now you decided to become a coach. And this, tell us how this came about and how much are you enjoying it?
Yeah, so like you said, been playing for over 20 years, started in college, moved back home to Jacksonville. We didn't have a women's team, started that up, coached, went back to playing for a little bit. I thought I was invincible. I'd made it 20 years without any major injuries and tore my ACL.
Wow.
And so when that happened, I kind of found myself not playing, not coaching, with time on my hands, missing rugby. That was always what I had done throughout the year, every Tuesday and Thursday for as long as I can remember now. And we had started the girls team up. It was very small last year. We only had 2 to 3 players. So just decided it was time to put my full effort into it and get it going. And then, found out that we had the support. Cora reached out. Her family had moved into town, and her and her parents, having 9 years of experience, really helped us get some ideas of how to recruit and bring in more players.
Awesome. Listen, I'm just gonna interrupt for a second to bring in a surprise guest, which was so kind to interrupt her practice, because I think she's a good example for all of you guys. And this is Morgan Freeman. Let me unmute you. You have to. Okay. How you doing, Morgan? Thank you very much.
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you guys doing?
Good.
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 So
honored to be graced by a professional rugby player.
I know. That was such an introduction for me. I don't want to.
So let me say this.
Bad.
Morgan also has done the first circle, just as Mel, because she has been playing maybe also 20 years. I don't know, because you started like when you were 2 years old, right?
Yeah. Well, I started when I was 5, so it's been 19 years.
Okay. And then you played all types of rugby, high level. You did play with USA Rugby, right? At some point.
Yeah.
And then now here she is back coaching at St. Thomas University. So you've done it all. You're a great example for these young ladies to, what to look at. So tell us a little bit about your journey and why you would encourage girls to play this sport.
Yeah, of course. So as I said, I started playing when I was 5. Played in the UK before. I did a brief stint with England under 20 before I moved over to here in 2016. And then I played a little bit of high school rugby with Ruckus, Fort Lauderdale Ruckus, that unfortunately is no longer a team. But then I got recruited to go to Lindenwood, a college in St. Louis, Missouri. And I played there for 3 years, and we won multiple national championships and CRCs. And it was some of the best experiences that I've ever had in my life. And yeah, I'm thankful that we have, you know, people out there like Mel and Helen that are helping to grow the girls' game. Going from high school and playing rugby in college is one of the best ways to get, you know, a college education funded. You can get lots of scholarships at so many different schools across the country. So I definitely recommend it to anyone that's thinking about doing it.
Tell us about the program there at St. Thomas, because you just mentioned being able to go to college and play rugby, which is the main purpose of going to college. And so tell us about, because you're in St. Thomas right now, tell us about your program, because this is something that could really, you know, help a lot, because, you know, now the same way it happened on the men's side, that you have a bunch of kids that probably would have gone to some other university. They all went there. This is in Florida. Tell us about the program, please.
Yeah, so I mean, the coolest thing about St. Thomas is I think we're the only collegiate program in Florida that offers scholarships.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is huge, because I think that's a massive stepping stone. For women. So that's a massive stepping stone to, you know, getting better and playing in some of the bigger leagues with teams like the Lindenwoods, the Lifes. Right now it's very small for the women. We've got only a handful of players. We've been doing a lot of mixed stuff with the men. We're still trying to recruit in school, but we've also reached out to a lot of athletes from across the country to see if they want to come here in fall. We're actively recruiting for fall 2024. But yeah, right now, I mean, it's in its infancy, but we have hopes that it's going to be just as successful as the men. I mean, the men are hoping to go on to win D1 this year, which I'm sure they will. So yeah, we're just hoping to follow in their footsteps.
Okay, let's hope that you get some local girls next season.
Yeah.
Show me a little bit what's going on in the background there.
So
Can you?
yeah, sorry, it's a bit noisy, but let me see
That's
if
fine.
I can. I don't know if I can turn this around, so I'll just do one of these. I don't know if you could see everyone in the background. But yeah, currently loads of guys. We recruited a couple girls from Boynton. Unfortunately, they haven't decided to stay onto the program for other reasons outside of rugby, but we've recruited a couple walk-ons, and there's some girls that already they just started playing rugby a couple months ago, and they're extremely passionate about it, which is always good to see. So we also have a few other girls from Boynton that have applied for fall 2024. A couple that have been accepted, so we're just hoping that they decide to come. And I know me and Mel spoke about a camp that they did up north, but I would love to be involved in some more stuff like that, so I can speak to some more high school players and get them to come to St. Thomas.
That would be awesome. Okay, I'm gonna let you go because you're busy there. I really appreciate you coming out.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Good luck Saturday on your game. It's always a pleasure to watch you play. So mean. You play so mean and so smart. So it's a perfect combination, you know?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, we'll see you around.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Let me get her. Okay. Great player. So
I do love Morgan. She's a great player, and the last time I played her, she got a yellow card tackling me.
She's tough, yeah. Maybe Tom was the ref.
Wasn't me. Absolutely.
No, it was Randall.
Okay. Helen, give us a little bit of an overview of what's going on in girls rugby in the state of Florida.
Well, I am super excited. And can you hear me okay?
Yes, you're fine. Thanks.
I'm super excited because finally got quite a few girls that are coming to practice and joining in on the events that we're doing up and down the state. December was our first game versus Wando from South Carolina. And this was an amazing game because it was their first game. They'd never played an actual game, and they killed it. They absolutely killed it. We had about 25 to 30 girls play this game, and it was a mixture from South Tech, Wellington, Duval Tides, and a couple from Tampa also. So it was an amazing game. They really learned a lot, and I just keep on doing it.
Is it this game I'm showing right now?
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was their first game, and like I said, I was worried. I was telling the Wando coaches, I'm like, please go easy on our girls. Never played a game.
You can't say that in rugby. Go
the first
easy.
Minutes, I was like, oh my God. The Tampa girls and I were like, oh my God, they're killing it. I can't believe how hard they're hitting. So I was like, okay, gloves off, go for it, girls. Let's play.
Oh yeah, there was some good tackles here.
Yeah, they did so amazing. Yeah.
So where do we have girls playing rugby in the state of Florida?
Right now, Duval Tides, Wellington, South Tech, and I know Tampa's working on their team right now. I know they have 2 girls that constantly go to practice. So our goal is to have those for full teams next year. I'm looking to double the numbers next year, and just to constantly do these kind of camps and clinics and scrimmages, and then we'll play out-of-state games and invite out-of-state players and teams to come down here. But as of right now, we have we did have that first game in December, and then in February we have 2 events. The last one was in Orlando, and that one was great also. That's why Duval Tides hosted that one. And again, it was a great experience for the girls. They did scrimmage, and again, it's just amazing how far they've come so short of a time frame, because they don't get a whole lot of practice hitting these usually they're scrimmaging each other, but this is great, and I'm just so proud of all of them, and proud to be a part of this, because without the women's teams, helping us right now, this is what's been growing it right now. Just Mel and the Tampa crew women, and I know that down south we're going to have the girls from Fort Miami help us out in March.
Okay.
So it's wonderful.
That's awesome. I'm going to add Alan if he doesn't mind, because if you're there, Alan, we might as well have you here because you're part of this also. Okay. And lastly, Helen, for you, what is the main obstacle you're finding to develop high school rugby girls? Because it does seem that's like the most challenging division that we have. Like we have never had, at least I don't recall having like enough teams to have a championship.
Obviously, I think it's just that still a lot of the kids don't know about rugby. They don't know what it is. They've never seen that played, and I'm hoping that with the Miami Sharks in Florida, that spreads the word. And the Olympics coming up, it's going to be huge. So we're going to have rugby in the Olympics. So trying to get the word out is the biggest thing.
I will be a little bit harsher and undiplomatic. I think that there's I think sometimes as we've got a lot of men in these sports, and I think from a chauvinistic men's standpoint, women can play rugby, and I think that they need to get their head. Sometimes I have conversations; they're good friends of mine, but we got to get our head right, and we got to make sure that we continue to invest in girls rugby.
Mel, what have you, now that you've been around a little bit, high school girls, what is your take on this issue of why it's so hard to recruit and get it going?
Yeah, I do agree with it just people not knowing what rugby is. Everyone knows what football is. Flag football has actually really grown a lot in Jacksonville for girls. And so having to compete with that, because, parents just know what football is. And I think for us, it's just trying to figure out what works in recruitment. We've had some girls come because of social media. Some girls have come because their parents played. We actually haven't gotten a lot from our boys team. I've gone out there and I've recruited with them, and they've got like 5 South Africans families that have 3 boys that play for them, but they didn't have any girls, so like that doesn't help me. But they're very nice and they cheer us on and everything like that. So I kind of had hoped that we would get some more from our boys team, but we're just going to keep pushing and keep recruiting and doing everything we can.
Do we have good retention with the women? Once we get them into the fold and they start coming to practice, do they tend to stay around?
I will say for me personally, every girl that has come out to practice has stayed out since we started it, but that is only 11 and we need more than that.
Well, yeah, you can play soccer, you know.
Where the struggle is that they can play usually right under 14, and then if they hang out at the high school level, there really is nobody for them to play. And so they're more or less going to North Carolina or South Carolina, these identifying camps to get college scholarships. Because the bottom line is, pretty much any girl right now, if you are a good player, they're gonna get a scholarship to play rugby. The money's there. More money gets turned away than taken. There's just a ton of money there that people don't realize that they're not going to get. And I have conversations all the time with girls that play flag. You're not going to get a scholarship playing flag football, but you will get a scholarship playing rugby.
And it's more fun for sure.
Yes.
No offense to football. Are you guys going to go to Tropical Sevens?
No, unfortunately, the girls do not have a team. It was kind of a little too late to organize that. So I'm hoping that's next year's one of the things that I want to do next year is take a team to Tropical Sevens.
It's so full right now. There's a wait list for every division.
Yeah,
it is absolutely.
It's
ridiculous, to be honest.
And most of the girl players that know how to play, they already have their tournament teams, so they're already going.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, Cora, let's talk to you a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your rugby history, because you've been playing for some time.
So I started playing when I was about 11, and as I told you guys before, I started playing originally actually because my sister was playing, and we're super competitive in my house. Going back to what you guys are saying, like obviously when the brothers play, sisters tend to start to playing. In my house was the opposite. It was because me and my sister were playing that brought my two brothers into playing. So I've played both nationally and internationally. I played with a variety number of teams, and I'm super excited to announce that I will be traveling with the USA U18 squad to play in Wales in July.
Oh, wow.
I played with them at various ID camps, but never internationally. So I'm super excited.
It's USA 7s or 15s?
15s. I'm a 15s player.
Okay. What position do you play?
I play open side flanker. I'm a 7.
Oh.
Yes. So some of the teams that I played with, I played with ERA internationally, and then nationally I played with Charlotte Town Tigresses, Duval Tides, FYRU Girls Rugby, the Rugby Advantage, Lady Valkyries, and then of course like little barbarian matches with other teams as well. And I'm just that's about that's my rugby career.
And you're going to Life now, right?
Yes, I'm committed to Life University of the fall of 2024.
You got a scholarship?
I did. I got a good scholarship to go to Life. And my sister actually also plays at Life University. She plays 8.
How old is she? What's the difference between you guys?
She is 19, but we are like a year and a half apart. And she plays 8-man, and she is a beast. She plays on U23 USA women's team, absolutely crushing it as a rugby player.
Awesome, because it's that's an opportunity that for some reason happens a lot in brothers playing together. And it's really awesome. I know it's going to be awesome for your parents.
Yes.
As a parent of, 2 kids playing with a small age difference, they played a lot together.
Yes.
And if you play 7, she plays 8, you're going to be very close, rocking over each other.
Yes.
Are you going to Tropical Sevens?
I will be attending Tropical Sevens. If I'm playing, it's to be determined, but I will be down there for sure.
With what team?
I'll be playing. If I do end up playing, I'll be with the Rugby Advantage, the black team, in the elite division.
Okay, make sure Tom doesn't get any of your games.
I might get one. Okay. Don't listen to him. He's full of nonsense.
And Cora, what did rugby give you, and you found so attaching that you would like to tell other girls, come and play this sport, because it's a life changer. I think it is.
Rugby is definitely a life changer. Growing up, I was very soft. The idea of me playing a tackle sport would have never crossed my mind when I originally started playing this sport. And now I just can't get enough of it. It's a sisterhood that you wouldn't get anywhere else. The team, I love my team. I think that for me, I really fell in love with the game after I moved away from my co-ed team and joined the girls team, and just how tight we were. The team bondings, the games, community service, just everything that we did just was so amazing. And that's when I really fell in love with the game. And then about 2-3 years ago, when you obviously do something for a long time, it can get easy to like fall into a repetitive pattern. And I was so very blessed and fortunate enough to go to the elite training facility Proteus in San Diego, California, where they have the best skills coach in America right now, Charlie Purdon. And that's when I really fell in love with the game. And, to girls that are looking at trying this sport and they're not sure about it, the hardest part is obviously just going to that first practice. And I guarantee that if you go to that first practice, chances are you're going to fall in love with the sport. It's just such an addicting sport, and it's such a great outlet. And like you guys were saying, college is expensive, and the idea or even the prospect that you can get your college tuition cut in half is, that's appealing. So I think that's something that needs to be kept in mind as well.
For sure.
Well said.
Helen, your daughter got a scholarship also, right? Davenport?
Yeah, she goes to Davenport, Michigan. She's freezing her buns off right now.
Well, maybe she should consider St. Thomas for next season,
I don't know.
It's nice and warm down here.
She loves it up there. She loves it up there. I could not. Yeah, there's no way. But yeah, she does. She goes up there, and a lot of the girls from Wellington have gotten scholarships. We have a few that have gone to Queens. One went West Point, Life University. We have a USA Rugby player, sevens player also, the Watland girls. One that went to England to play at, I'm going to screw up this name, but it's Gloucestershire, I think it's called.
Yes, close enough.
Close enough, right? Yeah, so Sacred Heart also. So I think the Florida girls have a lot of, there's a lot of opportunities out there. So I'm hoping that this continues to grow. And like I said, I'm not going to give up on this. This has been ongoing for what have we been doing this for 3 years now?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you guys get tired of me saying, but you know what? You just need to keep on talking about it and keep on, asking the girls to come in and check it out. Just come on and play. So
now that you mentioned some names, we actually have a lot of girls, then women that went on to. We even have a Hall of Famer, Kathy Flores. I think she's from FSU, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Originally.
Yeah, rest in peace.
And Candy Orsini, they played together.
Yeah. Okay, I was missing the other one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was asking Ross and he couldn't remember. Yeah. So, and we have currently you mentioned the Watling sisters.
Yes.
And of course we have this Thomas. What's his first name? I already forgot. Thomas. She's been playing for USA Rugby for a long time.
Kristen Thomas, yes.
Chris Thomas. Yeah, we had her on the podcast. So we have. I mean, what I'm saying is we have a lot of examples to look up to that. You can go far, even if it's not a big sport here, but you can go far.
Yeah, and I mean, Florida's huge. The amount of athletes here, come on, there's got to be more girls out there that can do this, that can play this game, that would love this game, that would, just kill it.
I'm under the impression, I don't know, Alan, what do you think, that we are probably not doing exactly the right thing to bring more people to the sport? We're missing something. Because
go ahead.
I mean, we all agree this is like the greatest sport in the universe, and how come we don't have more people coming into it? Like, overflowing our practices.
I think there's a lot of things. So, football numbers, youth programs, Pop Warner. 10 years ago, we're talking not even 2013, 2014. I know the Western Community Football League, which is one of the leagues I help run here. We had 1,100 kids. They now have 450 in tackle football for youth. COVID did not help. There's just so much misinformation sometimes right now about contact sports, that it's just so negative. It's hard to kind of rise above that. And we go out. I mean, we do things here. I mean, my goodness, we're at every social event in Wellington. We sponsor tents. We do everything we can to get the youth. And I'm glad that Cora brought this up, because she said the same thing we were talking about before. But one of the reasons the Wellington Wizards grew is that we started bringing in girls, and we got the boys from the girls. And so we got the brothers of the girls coming in. And
were the boys chasing the girls?
No, the brothers and sisters. I hope not.
Siblings, Charlie. Siblings.
Yeah, everything helps.
Siblings.
Everything helps.
But yeah, I mean, the boys show up, the girls are killing it. To be honest with you, at that level, I mean, girls dominate. Even at the U12 and U14 level, they're physical. I mean, we took state last year, and our top players on that team were 3 or 4 of them were our girls, and they're good this year too. So it's just one of those things. It's just misinformation that anybody can play this sport at any age. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what sex or that you are. You can play this sport, and it's not. The physics are not there like a football, and that there's just not that type of physics that you can deliver such a blow where it's really that kind of. I mean, high school is a little bit different, I'll be honest with you, but at the youth level, that's where we need to focus, and that's where we are. I mean, at the U10, U12, and U14, we have the largest numbers that we've had in the longest time, and we're going to continue to focus on that area.
Yeah, Alan, you bring up a good point. When we started a youth program at my home club up in New Hampshire, we had to do a lot of work with the parents on injury rates. Yep. There's a common misconception that rugby is just football without pads and it's more dangerous. You don't have a helmet protecting you. And we ended up showing the statistics of the injury rates. It was something crazy, like between 40 and 50% of the NCAA scholarships for football have been out with an injury, at any point on their scholarship. And rugby is equivalent roughly to soccer.
Well, basketball has the highest injury rate of any sport. Flag football is tremendously. I've never seen. We've had more injuries doing flag because kids are running at full speed at each other. They run into each other. They fall down, putting their hands out, so they dislocated shoulders, break arms, wrists, and tons of concussions because kids are running into each other and they're falling around at full speed. It's just interesting to see. I mean, people are just misinformed. I mean, listen, it is a contact sport, but it builds that kind of character that they can carry with them in pretty much any phase of their life. And that's really kind of the focus. And all the clubs do that. Okapi, Key Biscayne, Boca, Tampa, Jacksonville, all of us do. We really, really focus on that aspect of the game. It just builds the right kind of character.
That video of Penny was
Penny. Yeah, she's awesome.
That is an amazing video. You did
and that's a new. And listen, she's on some super squad cheer team, and she loves it so much she wants to quit cheer that her parents have invested with her for the last 5 years. And I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm like, P, you gotta continue to do cheer. Your mother's she's gonna punch me in the head. So that's not a good thing. That's not a good place to go. And that's the other thing too. Kids need to play multiple sports. They need to do multiple things, and that's really. I mean, there's too many kids sitting at home today. With social media, with YouTube, with games, it's crazy, and I just wish parents would push them out of the house, and we'll take them.
Yeah, but just play rugby. You don't need to play other sports. Just play rugby. Hey, listen, that little girl, I'm gonna say it now. If she continues playing rugby, we're gonna see her up there for sure. I'm gonna say it now.
She'll be like the next Wantland. I mean, the Wantland girls. She's amazing already. And you brought up the Wantlands, who I've never seen. Two young ladies in my life. They're women now, but 2 young women. I've never seen anything like it. From a skill standpoint, athletic standpoint. And they really are the kind of the tip of the iceberg as far as the top of the mountain as far as athletic ability. And there's no wonder that they're top at West Point and at Life and with USA Rugby. So kudos to them and their parents and driving them into this sport.
Oh yeah. I wanted to ask Mel, tell us a little bit about the team you have up there, because I have noticed that you're not on your own, which is one of the problems of that we have many times in youth teams, that there's only like one coach who also is a parent. But you seem to have a little team there. Tell us about it and how's it working?
Yeah, I have a coaching staff of 5, which truthfully, I was really surprised to get that many. So we have Coach Greg, who moved down from Syracuse, and he had coached select sides for high school and college girls up there, and coached the Syracuse University for a while. And then I've got 2 alumni from the team, in Miranda and Coach C. And then my other coach, Sean, he actually came over from league, but really wants to grow the women's side. Just in general, whether it's rugby union or rugby league, he wants to see it grow. And we just all really work well together. We kind of talk about where we think what we need to work on in the future, and who's good at that skill set, and who wants to run a drill next week. We've got a forwards coach, we got a backs coach. Sean's great with the passing from league. He's obviously not going to teach them like rucking or full scrum downs. So it's worked great so far, and it helps out when we do have lower numbers. We have coaches that can kind of jump in, and we're all really loud coaches, and so we show them how to communicate and how to talk and what we're looking for.
A lot of cursing. Hey, so just because I for one really appreciate all the work that you guys do, the volunteers, coaching and assisting team managers, not so much the refs because they get paid. So I want to play it's a little clip that Cora, apart from being a very good player, is also a very good interviewer. So I'm going to play this just sort of to honor these people that she's presenting of the team. Okay, let's take a look.
Guys, I'm here with Coach C. I'm a coach for Duval Tides. It's a high school girls team, best team in this country. I've previously coached college women's, senior women's, and high school girls.
Perfect. And my question to you is, where do you see our club in 5 years?
In 5 years, I think we'll be top 3 programs in the Southeast. I think this program is going to go really far.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Thank you for everything you do for us.
Thank you, Cora.
Of course.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm out here with Miss Helen, and I'll have her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Helen Archer, Director of High School Girls Rugby for the state of Florida. And I want to thank Duval Tides for organizing this event for the All-State Florida Girls Rugby team.
And so just a few questions for you. Why do you do what you do?
I do what I do because if I didn't, none of these girls would have any kind of opportunities here in Florida. So I coordinate with coaches throughout the state, and especially women's teams, to do clinics like this to create some exposure for these girls so they can start learning how to play, or just meet each other and try to get some contact information with everybody.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you so much. Here with Coach Sean of the Duval Tides. Can you give us a quick little introduction of yourself?
My name's Sean. I've been coaching for a long time. I've been playing for a long time as well, and just having some fun coaching the young girls. It's good.
So what inspired you to coach high school girls rugby?
We started up a women's league team a couple of years ago, and I enjoy coaching the girls. So I knew Mel. She helped me start that. And, she did need some help coaching the young girls, so more than happy to come along and help out, and it's good fun.
Perfect, I love that. Thank you so much. Hi guys, I'm here with
Coach Mel, and I started playing rugby in Orlando at UCF almost 21 years ago. And then when I left college and I came home to Jacksonville, I started the women's team, grew that for about 16 years, and then now I've been starting the high school team for the last 2 years.
Perfect. And my question to you is, what is your goal or your dream for our girls Duval Tides team?
My dream is to continue to grow it, and while doing that the girls gain self-esteem and self-confidence, and that it's a sport that they can take into college and just to make friends and to help prepare them for hopefully the rest of their life playing rugby.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jacksonville, I'm out here with our rep today. I'll have you introduce yourself.
Kenny.
I'm Kenny with the Welsh Rugby Union and the Florida Rugby Union.
And
Start.
Start.
Absolutely start. It's a great sport. I've been in the sport since 1976. You get a world of friends, and that's literally a world of friends no matter where you go anywhere in the world. If you mention the word rugby, somebody's going to invite you home, somebody's going to invite you to dinner, somebody's going to look after you. It's a great sport. You're always going to have friends. You're going to have so much fun. It's just a brilliant sport.
Perfect. And how old were you when you first started playing rugby?
I was 6.
6?
I was 6, yeah.
6.
So,
Did you guys hear that? You guys can play starting at 6.
yeah, I was 6. I was big enough to hold a ball. I was in.
Perfect. We love that. Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
See you out there later today.
Yeah, good
Thank
luck.
you.
Good luck.
It's a good-looking ball right there, by the way.
Good job, Cora.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a whole other career ahead of you. What's going on there?
Natural. I tagged ESPN, everybody. Okay, so
That was fantastic.
I have a little bit of bad news. We did not go live on Instagram until just now because I forgot to click go live, because on the other platforms it's automatic, but on Instagram you have to do an additional click, which I forgot. So
Charlie, we talked about this pre-show. With one button.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up for this now. Anybody want to mail some last words? How to encourage the girls to start playing the sport? You want to say?
Charlie, first of all, just thank you for having us. And as for encouragement, kind of like the ref said, you just got to start. And I think once you do, you'll love it. I mean, like I said, every girl that's come out to our practice, we've kept them. They haven't quit. So just get out there, give it a try.
Okay. Cora, where do you see yourself in 5 years, as you were asking the coach?
Where do I see myself in 5 years? Well, in 5 years, I will be. Oh God, I'll be old. I'll be like 22.
Easy.
Here we go.
Sounds pretty young to me.
Here we go.
In 5 years, I will have just graduated college. And at that time, I hope to be playing internationally, either with the USA Rugby team, and if not the USA Rugby team, I hope to be playing over internationally with a different club team, maybe. And if that's not in the cards, I'm totally okay with just helping grow the sport of rugby. That's end all be all. Just if it doesn't end up working out for me, I hope to be able to grow this sport, because this is what I truly love to do. I love this sport, and I want to be sure I can share this love with all these girls, because rugby really saved me at the end of the day. This makes me the happiest. So I would want to be sharing this sport. If that's either me playing or doing what Coach Mal and Miss Helen do, and what you guys do, honestly. So yeah.
Well, maybe we'll see you at the Dolphin Stadiums in 2031 at the World Cup. Wow. Yeah. You better keep this clip, okay? Just in case. Thank you very much, Cora. Helen.
Thank you.
Any last message? Last
Just,
chance?
You know what? Just keep on talking about it, like I said, and just bring a friend to practice, somebody that, just an acquaintance that you think that might like it. And I know it'll grow and grow. And like I said, we won't stop doing these little clinics and camps, and I'll keep pushing out in social media the new events that we're having monthly, and hopefully it will continue to grow. Thank you.
Okay. I know Alan likes to talk about it. So Alan is such a huge fan of girls rugby. He's like the number one fan.
Yes. Listen, we will continue to invest in girls rugby. I'm looking forward to the event up in Jacksonville with Mel and everybody on the 24th.
Yep.
So I know Wellington's going to be playing, Jacksonville that weekend up there, and then we're tagging along about 35 girls. Go up there and have a good day. I'm literally looking forward to that, and we will. The union's going to continue to back girls rugby and invest in girls rugby going forward, and to grow it.
We really
Okay.
appreciate that. We really appreciate the support you guys give us. I mean, I'm just talking from like an athlete standpoint. We really do appreciate all the extra support and whatnot.
Well, I can't wait to meet you in person on the 24th. So I will come over and say hi. You can interview me for your next
Okay,
career.
sounds good.
Hey, Alan likes to be on camera. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Well, everybody, thank you very much. It's been really a joy talking to you, and hopefully things will keep rolling in the right way. And I hope to see you all soon.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay.
All right, we're going to battle now, Charlie?
Are we going to what?
Are we going to battle? Just argue back and forth for the next 20 minutes?
Well, you know what? The other topic, no, we're not going to do that. That's not what I pay you for. Well, I haven't paid you this time, but
That's all right. You never do.
The other topic we had that was announced, and to be honest, I couldn't find a proper title. What did I put? Like Rugby Xplorer Chaos.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Let's just talk a little bit about that, because it's not very useful that we haven't been able to get any officer from the union. Unfortunately, everybody they're traveling with different things. So we invited Rick, Mike, the other Mike, the Ashford, which we want to meet and have him presented to the community.
Yeah, we got to get him on the pod.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the thing is, he coaches on Wednesdays, so he's gonna have to miss. I don't know. Anyway, so we couldn't get anybody. I don't feel it's fair to talk too much about this or go into details, because they're not present, and that's. But let me just lay it out. What was the intention, and what was the problem that I have sort of been looking at, and at some point, that's why I wanted to bring it to the attention of everybody. Which is, we're in the third week of the season. Not all championships are at the same. For some of them, it's week 2 or 1 or whatever. But we're 3 weeks into the season, and there is one. There are some things that teams have to do from an administrative point of view that are not really optional, which is they have to present rosters before the games. This is something we have been doing in different ways. We used to, I guess, maybe manually write them down on a piece of paper back in the days when I used to play. And nowadays, and this is the second season, we have a tool that is provided by USA Rugby, and it's not really optional to use. This is the tool that you have to use to be compliant for a game to take place, which is basically, here are my players that are going to be participating in this game, and everybody's registered and they are able to play from it. And this is sort of very basic for many reasons. And let's say just very basic one, liability, right? Everybody has to be registered. This is something that everybody knows. That keeps. It still happens. We've had issues. And is throughout the tool that we as the public has, and I think it's not. One of the issues is that this tool is not, they haven't promoted it enough. I don't think many people actually use it, but we have a tool and an app that you can have on your phone, and you can go and check out every single game that is played, what was the score, who played, who got a yellow card, what was the final result. You have all this. We should have all this information. But if you go now to the app, you're going to see there are a bunch of games at all levels. I would say, and I'm not going to mention names, because it doesn't make any sense. It's not the purpose. But throughout these 3 weeks, there are some teams that have never presented a roster, so we just don't even know who played, which is absolutely outrageous in my opinion. And then you have other teams that you don't, the games are not, you don't have an official score because one of the teams did not enter their score. So you can't even trust the scores that you're looking at because the games are not finalized. And I think we have to set some basic standards for rugby in Florida. Sorry, for Florida rugby. Rugby in Florida is me. I have my own standards. We have to set some basic standards, and this is one of them. We need to have every single game reported correctly with the correct score, with the players, and to be able to go and look at the standings. Right now, there's not one standing that makes any sense. Is it too much? And the reason I wanted the union here is because, there are some reasons for this to be happening. We just got the administrator who is the one who really looks into this, because I'm not expecting, all these volunteers, put in those extra hours. That's why we have a paid administrator, but he just got in a week before this thing started. So, but I mean, we can't let this just drag on.
We can't just do nothing. And so we talked in depth about this yesterday or the day before, and basically just argued for an hour and a half with each other. I'm fine with the union holding people accountable for not following standards. I just think that the standard needs to be clear and not in an email that was sent out to a select group of people or word of mouth from what should have happened last year. I think the beginning of every season, here's the standards, here's what you need to do, here's what the expectations are, and here's what the consequences are if you don't do it. So we don't have, you're not following a standard that we didn't know what it was or people disagree on, and then we have consequences that people didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, well, I think we finally agreed to some point on that. That's correct. There's clearly a communication problem because something is not working. That's a basic. Something is not working, and we need to fix it. And it's in the best interest of the clubs and the union. It should not be like, us against them. Hey,
Yeah, because the team should want, and the fans and the spectators should want to be able to pull up and see what the standings are and have it be accurate and
exactly
who scored what. Yeah, that's totally fair.
So I have noticed, and I have been told from one of the members of the union that they have actively been trying to catch up this week, which I did notice on the app. And this graphic that I have here, and we're going to wrap this up because it's time. We have 2 minutes to go. We're such a professional broadcast and it just exactly on time. And one of the things I just wanted to show is many people probably don't even know that Rugby Xplorer exists, okay? And here I just had a little graphic because there are 3 things involved in this administration. It's actually a content management system from that USA Rugby is providing, and it has like different tools for different things. It's not that hard, so when I say there's obviously some communication problems, I know for a fact that some teams are absolutely clueless about, the Rugby Matchday app. But, they have to bring them up to speed, and that I think is what they're doing. So final thought, like, guys, let's just get better. We want to get better in all senses. This is one of them. It's terribly boring, this stuff, of course. Whoever has to do it, it's not like, it's not fun, but it needs to be done. But it's very basic, and there are serious liability issues that are, involved. So, it's some serious stuff that needs to be addressed and taken care of. And generally speaking, I think we have a lot of room in Florida Rugby to get better in all senses, okay? We'll talk about that some other day, but I'm just talking about everything, about our players, our uniforms, field setups, a lot of things,
Podcasts.
No, that's one area.
That's perfect. We got that down.
We're excelling. because there's no competition for one. Well, we have some. Yeah, there is some other broadcasters like Lance and Nick. So anyway, as I said, we couldn't get any officer on board today, unfortunately. But we'll do that next time. So I don't know. I took some time to do this graphic. I hope it serves some purpose.
Good. Send it out. Post it up on Instagram.
Okay. And again, sorry, Instagram watchers, I messed up. I didn't click a button. That this is a new thing for me. So I get
Technology.
that, you know, I'll get one chance to mess it up. Hopefully not next time. And we'll see you next week. We didn't even talk about what is going on in rugby, but
yeah, we gotta get the stats and the game highlights. Let's get that for next week, Charlie. Come on,
yeah,
let's go.
Well, okay. But talking to the ladies and Alan was very interesting, and hopefully, you know, we get. I for one, I'm dressing in pink to support the ladies.
All right, I'm Tom Ciampa, average referee in the state of Florida. Thanks for watching the pod.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Okay.